Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal, and this is the latest transfer news. Not quite the deadline there I was planning for. Came up with a cold, struggling to speak. Number two, we still haven't signed anyone. I'm still really hoping that we sign anyone at all. Like the only thing that can make me feel better is Arsenal signing someone today. And there's more bad news today. Incredible bad news, Mikel Merino. So let's go through all that. Let me tell you guys what has been happening so far. I will try to do a live stream very soon. I also have to put out the preview for Arsenal Brighton. We are playing the early game tomorrow. So let's get through it. Let's start with the bad news, Mikel Merino. Bad news for Arsenal as Mikel Merino is injured. He has a shoulder injury and it looks like he will be out for a few weeks. He landed on the floor and Gabi landed on top of him. It's a fracture probably, Arteta says via Nizar Cancela. Guys, that is 3 seasons in a row, if you remember. We signed Fabio Vieira, he had an injury. Last season, we obviously signed Timber and he was out for the entire season. Like that is incredible bad luck. That is such bad luck. Luckily, we have an international break coming up. Now, these days, back in the day, I used to be one of those people that hated the international break. But these days, I actually don't mind the international break because of reasons like this, like players recovering. Now, this injury will keep him out for a few weeks. It could be 3 weeks. It could be 4 weeks. It could be more than that. And he didn't come with an injury. He actually picked up an injury in his first training session. Martinelli, I think that's Gabi. I think that's the Gabi they're speaking about. Fell on him and he injured his shoulder, and that means he's not able to play. Like that is such incredible bad luck, man. That is such a bad luck. And as I was saying, this is not the deadline day I was expecting. Like bad news after bad news. This is not the kind of deadline day I was expecting. So this shows you that we definitely need players. I was just about to do the preview for the Brighton game. I had Merino included in the squad and everything. And looking at our bench now, it is not strong enough. Like already, the season is 2 games in. Tomias is injured, Gabriel Jesus is injured, and Mikel Merino is injured. Those are already 3 players injured. And that puts a dampening on our squad for sure. Like defensively, yep, we are good. But midfield and going up front, we are really having to depend on Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, and all these guys staying fit, and Partey as well in midfield. Like if something happens to Partey, we are back again to depending on Jorginho and Rice to run our midfield for almost the entire season. I don't think it's even fair on the players to put that much pressure on them. We definitely need some new signings, especially up front. We 100% need some new signings. So Mikel Merino, unfortunately, will be out for a few weeks. The guy is absolutely crazy. Like he hasn't even been at Arsenal for more than a week. I think he's been here for 4 days. So absolutely crazy. But what kind of transfer news are we looking to do today? Are we going to do any news? Well, Mikel Arteta was asked about Merino, and then he was asked about any transfers that are going to be done today. And this is what he's had to say in the conference. Let's see. It's always possible. In the last 24 hours of the transfer window, never rule out anything. Sterling, I cannot talk about a player of another team. I never do. So he always says that when he's asked about a player who wasn't to join Arsenal. We're still expecting United to sign today. Listen, they still around 9 hours to go. Surely we're going to sign a player. Like already our bench this weekend, we already have to include 3 youngsters, Nonere, Lewis Skelly, and someone else because we don't have enough players on the bench. And the Champions League draw was done yesterday. Those games are tough. Those games are many. Those are many games, and also the Premier League and also the Carabao Cup. You cannot just play Saka every single game, play Havertz every single game, play Odegaard every single game. We need players to come off the bench and up front, even not just in terms of a quality and looking for a striker who wants to score goals. We just don't have enough numbers. We can't just have Havertz as our only striker until January. That would be crazy. And we can't also depend on Jesus. I want Jesus to stay at Arsenal. I've always said that. But you can't depend on him because of those injuries. You cannot just say, okay, Jesus is going to come back next week. That's fine. No, he can get injured again the following week. So we definitely cannot put our hopes on that. But let's see. I just said that anything can happen in the last 24 hours. Let's hope that we get a surprise. Listen, the only thing that can make me feel better is Arsenal giving us a surprise on this final day. That would be huge. We definitely need someone on this final day. The thing is, we don't even need one player. I actually think we need 2 players. But listen, as long as we get at least 1 player, that is okay. But 2 players is actually what we need. You still need a backup for Saka. and we still need a forward player. I don't think we have enough players in this squad. We are one injury away from disaster. If Saka or Odegaard drops with an injury, we're in trouble. Like Odegaard in that Odegaard position, we don't have anyone else to play for him now. Since Smith Rowe is gone, Vieira is gone. Even the players we used to bring off the bench on like Nketiah, they are gone now. So we don't have players on the bench. We really have to sign players. So this is what this is what was reported again earlier today from Miguel Delaney. There is a feeling that the transfer market could open in the final hours due to the number of big clubs who want to sell. There is a belief that this could bring bargains that would not have been possible even a few weeks ago. So we are banking on things opening up the last 9 hours. Hopefully, I don't know if that means that Tony is already going to do a medical for Lalali. So I don't know if that is going to be possible at a hijack or something. Osimhen a hijack or something? Is it going to be possible? Someone like a Gyökeres, I don't think it's going to happen. Now he's still in Portugal, like before it happens, unless they absolutely shock us, we'd have had something about it by now. So just get me any forward player, man. Just get me any forward player. I'm really hoping. Now, the Champions League draw was done yesterday, and Edu was not in attendance. Usually attends those draws. And the speculation is saying Edward planned on being in Monaco for the Champions League draw last night, but made it a late call to stay in London ahead of deadline day. So did he decide to stay because he's working on some deals? Or is he there's nothing happening, it's just being it's going to be a very, very sad deadline day. I don't know, but I'm hoping. Listen, he did not go to the draw. Arteta has been saying we could do something in the last 24 hours. Arteta himself said a week ago that yes, we are short in terms of our squad. So surely they're going to get at least a player before the deadline at tonight. Really, really hoping, man, because we don't have enough players. Yes, we'll probably beat Brighton over the weekend, but after that, things are getting really, really hard. Spurs away, Man City away, Inter Milan away. You need players to play against those teams. You need players to bring off the bench. You cannot just depend on Trossard every single day to come and help us from the bench. You need players off the bench. And on top of that, Jesus and Merino are now injured. So it's even worse than what it was 2 weeks ago. What's the latest on Raheem Sterling? This is the latest on him from Kaya Kainak. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal is looking unlikely today as it stands. So a few people are happy with this, that Sterling is not happening, but you still need a player. Like if it comes down to Arsenal not getting a player completely or getting Sterling, I rather just get Sterling, someone who has scored more than 100 Premier League goals. Let's just bank on him instead of not getting anyone at all and leaving ourselves short and having to depend on Saka and Trossard and Havertz every single game. We can't do that. So let's see what happens with Sterling today as well. And Common one has gone quiet as well. So it's still very difficult. Are we going to get a winger? Are we going to get a forward player? It's very, very hard to predict. I literally have no idea who we are going to get. I'm just hoping we get someone up front because we don't have enough players. Ramsdale has completed his move to Southampton today. All the best to him. Gave us a really, really good first 2 years before last season. Like when he was signed, I remember when he signed him, a lot of people are complaining like, what the hell are we signing a goalkeeper for? We already have Leno, Ramsdale for 30 million. What are we doing? This is not a good buy. We are overspending. Even at that time, he even removed his Instagram comments. Up until today, you can't comment on his pictures because of the abuse he got from the first day. Like Arsenal fans are not happy. But he lived up, he delivered. He obviously gave us some good memories. Those saves, I remember the save against Aston Villa when he won 4-2. I think it was from Bailey. The save he made in the last minute against Liverpool at Anfield in the 2-2 draw. We could have lost that game easily. The save that he made against Tottenham away from home, I think it was last season. We are not last season, the previous season. We won 2-0 at Tottenham. There's another save he made against Leicester in his first season from Maddison's free kick. Like, we have some good memories with Ramsdale. I always believe he's a very good goalkeeper in terms of shot stopping. He's a very good goalkeeper and he's going to be tested at Southampton more than he would have been tested at Arsenal because we don't even concede shots even if he was playing. So in terms of strengths, Southampton are going to play more to his strengths than Arsenal do because he's going to have a lot of shots to save at Southampton. So all the best to him. We are going to get around 25 million for him. I don't think that is a disaster. We are if Southampton stay up, you're basically getting more than what we paid for him. We paid 24 million for him. You're going to get 25 million. That is a profit for a player who's been on the bench the whole of last season. I think that is a good deal. So all the best to to Aaron Ramsdale. He's not the only player who's going to be announced today. We're expecting the likes of Keita to be announced, but let's hope that we do announce our own players. So we'll try to do a live stream very soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.